Choosy Choosy, people. Choosy Choosy. 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 Okay, I'm preparing something. I first have to show you stuff. This. I just got my neighbor saved food again. Okay, there is a bit much mold on the moldy cheese. But some of these pieces you can probably still eat. I'm gonna make a sauce with this and mushrooms. And then I've got this. This is like potatoes that you, I don't know how you call them. You put, you make like a dough. You put them in water. You let them rise. You take cooked potatoes, you make a dough out of it, and then you add stuff, you cook them in water, and then there you go. For that I'm heating up water already. Well, let me just quickly finish what I actually wanted to do because I have prepared some Instagram posts. This goes with the food because these champignons are probably almost on the point of no return. Well, let's just see what it says on the label when it's supposed to go off. Okay, 18th of April. Today is the 19th of May. We're gonna check. Just look at this fridge. I mean, the fridge was about to be empty. Now it's just full. Like all of this stuff. Normally I would never buy this. It's like fat spread. And now it's populating my fridge. This is like lemon mousse. Right. I mean, it's a free meal. So, I'm honest about this. If my parents wouldn't have paid my apartment because I started to realize what a shitty place this capitalistic world is, and with what kind of people you have to, spend time daily if you want to live in this. And then you think, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to. I'm sick of living like this. So now I've prepared a couple of posts. And I just want to quickly post them. I have recorded most of my podcast, and now I'm just working off Instagram. Just saying, this is the list I prepared. So now making fire your way. I planned nothing of this. Believe me or don't believe me. And now I'm here at Choosy Choosy. This is for the 11th of June, which is why I'm in the future. 1 year ahead, Back to the future. Back to the past. Just live in the moment. Okay. Okay, here's lots of artwork. So yeah, I mean, what you're seeing has been funded by my parents. So, you know, if you want to pick on middle class, well, you're watching the child of one. And then you realize middle class is just a word, man. Because you think you should judge people for whatever they have. But emotionally, they may be empty. So this was a hell of a night. These feet have hiked for hours. You ask how I still stand. Nature is my teacher. Trees and bees my friends. The time you spend debating, I sit alone at home, make content, and feel my road back home. This is a wall, and the image is called You Cannot Get Rid of Her, which of course is nature. And then comes another poem. She's tearing down your walls, your ego and your lies. And in the end, believe me, she'll tear down your disguise. Better start, be grateful. Nature made me whole, while all of man's creations demanded too much toll. I never liked the city, I never wanted sex. I thought I had to be a being of pretense. The truth is I would rather crawl into a hole than working for pretenders that build themselves a tomb. Okay, why did I say build themselves a tomb? Because if you build yourself a tomb so that your dead body can be put to rest in it, then you have already alienated yourself from nature. Because I would want my body to merge back into nature. I see no reason to be buried in a tomb or... Right, this is all nonsense to me. And that's what I'm seeing, right, in... They lose track. You know, the pharaohs of ancient times, they lost track of, you know, nature is the thing. Well, and in the end they had a desert. Well, before it was considered to be like a Garden of Eden. And then they made a desert out of it. Because they took too much, probably. I don't know what. They lost track of, you know, you have to worship nature. Man is supposed to be like a safekeeper. Because the only eternal thing, then, to me, would be nature. And whatever gives life to it, which we say is the masculine, that spark of consciousness, it's hard to find. But I feel it inside of me, the masculine. But it's just like, doesn't actually matter that much. Okay. Man's cradle isn't Africa, it's nature, don't you see? The only way to free yourself is hiking in bare feet. Your roots were severed long ago, the time has come to let them grow. Prepare yourselves, a storm may come, when cowards crumble. Worry not, there's folks like me that smile in storms, there's people that can see this truth that only feelings bring to you. So you have to get a bit into a sing-song to read this. So you may actually have to practice reading my poetry, because you have to get into the sing-song to see the imagery in front of your mind, your mind's eye. And what I believe to be the third eye, which I believe to be, that which transcends duality. It is what sees what is. A lot of people, they just look with their right or just with their left, but if you see it both together, bam, right? You can literally see duality in people, right? How they try to be this, try to be that. You see it in children, they don't know what to do anymore because everybody's so fake. They stop giving a shit. That's also about it speaks for itself, right? Man makes great, nature makes great. I mean, nature also makes great, but much nicer. Coffee used to be a gathering, a ceremony, and a way to connect. And now it's just something on the side of the road. Right? There's no appreciation for these things anymore. At least in these parts, it's just something. It's not like, oh wow, let's worship nature, but that's the problem with sharing your secrets. You get it? That's the problem. A stranger comes, he steals your secrets, and then he markets it, and suddenly, he lives in a system that draws from money. And then he goes to the people that first showed it to him, and then he enslaves them. Now he enslaved them, the ones that, shared their secret. Why does he do that? Because nobody's just light. Yeah, sure. You wolves live in a pack, are probably friendly towards each other as long as there's enough resources. But in the end, it's every man for himself. And that's what I've started to live. Nature re-emerging, what have you become? Your dream has been corrupted. And then breaking the rhyme, darkness cannot bite. Sometimes it's hard to find your own style, because it takes a lot of testing. Is this me or is this someone else? This is clearly me. Okay, this is called natural reflection. Natural reflection. It's natural, so natural, to sit inside a car. Airplanes too, why worry if toxic waste does harm? I work to own a living, my life spent to sit still. Comfort now surrounds me, I pride myself to chill. ... You know where chilled doth come from? Your fire has been quenched, your spirit was extracted, your energy just left, reality diffracted. So chilled to smoke a cigarette, so chilled to watch TV, so chilled to suck a hookah, so chilled to game and bleed. A sheep felt chilled, his fur was gone, now humans wear it all day long. The story I was telling will never ever end. The dreams that I've been having show me where I stand. So once in a while I leave the house, I dive into nature, make fire and joust. Once in a while I push myself out to find who I am in the cradle of man. The cradle of man is nature, a forest, a jungle, the ocean, the desert. Anything's better than nonsense and chatter, and concrete and facet and lies and deceit. Whenever I stumble out of the jungle, I see what is missing in cities that distance themselves from the cradle of human and act like they're doing others a favor. Switch valor with labor and see how the game works they're playing. A mind full of anger betrays Mother Nature. The child feels neglected while it shows rejection to punish creation for making it happen and leading a life full of sorrow. So suffer, small fledgling, but I pity not. I cannot feed weaklings, I favor the strong. Survive on your own and go find some meaning, or else you will miss what others are dreaming. Okay, so switch valor with labor. If you don't want to hear me say this, you just have to sit with it and try to figure it out yourself. It's actually something I only realized now. Because valor is like this, you know, I'm doing the good deed, you know, I'm the savior. You know, the valiant, how's that word called? You know, like the hero kind of figure. But a hero probably never sees himself as a hero. It's the hero-ness that's being projected onto him by other people. He's just doing what he's doing. And that's what he has to continue to do. Or else he'll be corrupted by other people's ideas of, you know, how he should be now. Oh, now we say you're a hero, so now you ought to be like this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's see, Naruto went through all that stuff, you know, to prove himself to the people. And they all hated him. I mean, he's gonna be pretty like, there's gonna be a bitterness to his success. And there's a bitterness to, you know, if I feel into this, if I ever, you know, manage to get recognition for what I'm doing, you know, which is always a possibility, I'll be quite bitter about this kind of success. Because I see what I had to do to get people to listen to, you know, you should do your cleansing, you should do your work. Because if you don't do it, you know, what kind of an example does this set for children? You know, to see politicians sitting on top of some stage, you know, being like obese and overfed, while others are starving. You know, what kind of an image does that create? It's like, you know, how do you want to be? Do you want to be like the guy who lives on the streets? Or the fat guy who thinks he sits on top? But, you know, how do you call it? Every time you feel high and mighty, you know, you'll wake up to the, to the fall. The Fall is also a great movie. There's two movies I want to watch. Mad God. I'll watch that. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. As far as there anything's better. Yeah, and see how the game works they're playing. Switch valor with labor. So you just start working hard. You just go about your business, and then you see the game they're playing. The game they're playing is, now I've got money, so I don't have to do anything anymore. No, I just do some random job, I get money for that. And that's basically exactly what's happened in Rick and Morty when they are being fed pills. You know, I don't even care, you know, I'll just eat my pills. And then you just, you know, you just do something, and that's what people do. I mean, anything we do here, you know, financial department, lawyers, this is all human stuff, which means it's basically meaningless because it's just stuff they came up with in their minds. They thought, oh, you know, what else could we be doing to keep on, you know, sucking the life out of nature and just making something that we call money, and then we don't have to work so much anymore. Then there's people who don't work at all anymore. There's just, you know, this stuff like money flowing in. And then they just sit at home trying to have a good time. But any good time is eventually followed by a hard time. And if you want, you know, peace, you have to make a lot of choices, is what I'm saying. I chose to do this now like this, instead of leaving the house and going to slackline, because I just hiked 30 or 35 kilometers 3 days ago or something. And my feet are still recovering, to say how I feel like it is. And now I am just choosing, I'm just gonna start cooking soon. Okay, this one, sometimes I make stuff and it looks much better when I'm making it. This one I call trying to express my vision from nature. Nature is super like, it's all green and it's all, all different shapes and colors, but it's also roundish, it's about flow. It's also concentric in a way, because there's something in the middle that spawns life. And it's very dark, my friend. oh yeah. If you've looked at your woman, like really looked at her, you realize there's darkness, man. There's darkness in women and there's darkness in men. And that's what I started to engage with. And that's what made me more whole. But it's also, driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts from the inside. It's like last night when I made this art, I was listening to Disturbed, on headphones really loud, just to drown out whatever was flooding in. Okay. Funneling emotions into creation. What I also often have is that if I'm creative, the juice gets less. So you start, there's a lot, and then at some point there's less. Yeah, okay. That was the last one. Now I have to put them onto my phone. Wow. Sometimes you just don't know. Suddenly there's 10. What the heck? So yeah, I cannot say if people were to like this. And then I have a folder called unposted. So I know, okay, right? I put them in there on my phone and then I post them and then I delete them. But I first want to make food. Gonna put this into suspend. Okay, so I've shown you the food. This is the list I've made. So, I just started working off these videos, and then you come to making fire your way and you're like, damn it, that's gonna be a tough one. But it pushed me through to the other side. I'm currently working on the Alice in Wonderland audiobook. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch. Just gonna make a meal. Also have a lot of apples again, which is nice. Because I literally was running out of food. I mean, seriously. Was just running out of food. So I'm glad I'm mulling some wine, put some cloves into it. Drank some last night. This is the first time I did not drink the whole bottle at once. Okay. I mean, this is always a bit... You see, I'm not always this super nice guy. I mean, I am, if you hear what I'm saying, but what you also should hear is that I also need to survive. So my focus is on survival. And then I just see where I land. This is tea I have made. It's black tea, black cardamom, bitter gourd, cloves and bay leaves, two. 2 bay leaves, a couple of cloves. I don't know, I just went down. This was also a choice I had to make. I saw there was food, which was unexpected, because there was food already yesterday and now there was again. It's like, where did that come from? Well, now it's there, deal with it. Okay. This is a tough choice on my part. Anyway, there came a guy and we immediately kind of like connected. But if you would see him at first, you would think he's kind of dirty, he's kind of like... But some of the people, you know, he's honest. You know what I mean? That's how he feels. A lot of people, they're dishonest. They put on perfume, they put on deo, you know, they just act like it, but they just run around judging everyone. It's going to be a bit strange meal because it will contain a lot of this stuff, because otherwise I fear it's going to go bad. So this is also about time management again. Why? Well, because this is going to take about 25 minutes or so, it says on the package. This is going to be quicker. I first, of course, have to check if this is still good. Smells alright. I'm gonna do this here. Yeah, bitter gourd. Okay. Turn this off. Otherwise, the butter will burn. So yeah, everyone. You know, can hear something in their minds. It's just that people started to become so ridiculously paranoid. Right, because they just try to hide, which is so ridiculous if you think about it. Because we're all the same, man. You know, if I can hear things, then I know you can. You're just pretending not to. Because you're pretending to be some kind of object. But it's impossible. And one day it will get you. One day the truth will pick up. And all your little lies are gonna just rub themselves into your face. And you're gonna sit there like Job, having been robbed of everything. And then you either pick up and say, hey, you know, I'm just gonna pick a broom and I'm gonna sweep until I feel better. This is what happened to Ramdas. This is what happened possibly to myself in a way. Only I feel like I already knew there was something off in this world. Because the thing that I knew was, this is wrong. And this is basically what Greta Thunberg was saying, this is all wrong. You know, I shouldn't be up here. And a lot of people started picking on her. I mean, her own parents said she was autistic. And then you see how well she can, like, they were ashamed of her pointing out these people. Why did she even get the platform? I mean, in that sense you could say she's a child, and it's right what she says, this is all wrong. You know, whatever reason she had, but she said it, this is all wrong. And it is all wrong. Why are they putting a child up there? And then they just laugh about it. How dare you? And they just laugh about it. That's their reaction of the panel of people who say they save the planet. And then, you know, you could call her an emissary of nature. You know, it's hard to say. You know, I don't know her. I don't know what is inside her mind. I cannot see her. But then I have watched an interview where she talks about that people say she's just an angry teenager. Okay, now she's being whatever she started out to be. She was clearly sucked into their game again. Which is why everything she did before is meaningless in my eyes. Because then it was dishonest. She just wanted attention. And then she is just an angry teenager. You know, sorry to say that. But what's your actual life experience? I mean, that's the point. What's your life experience? You haven't really lived in this. You have done nothing. You know, who are you? You're like 14 or something. So, but to just say, you know, people are autistic, some people that are being labeled as autism are one of the most intelligent people you'll ever know. But they just have been labeled. I mean, I have a different kind of intelligence than what people value here. My kind of intelligence means, you know, I'm a survivor. I can solve problems with my mind if you let me, but people never let me. You know, they never let you do anything unless you have a degree, which is why I studied hard, so I can say, you know, I'm an authority. You know, I have been trained by your people, right, to be allowed to have an opinion on climate change, because I have an actual degree in environmental protection, and I can say things about this. Right, because otherwise you'll act like, you know, I'm too stupid. You see how this is how the game is being played. They create fake certificates, you know, I'm a certificate in this or that. And if you don't have it, because maybe your parents didn't have the money, or maybe, you know, there's all kinds of reasons why you may not have it. But the fact is that, you know, alongside the money, they create other papers, and you need these papers. And to get the papers, maybe you need money, and then you need to be a part of this thing. And this is basically what Banana Joe is talking about, right? Wow, this is what Banana Joe is talking about. You know, he just sells bananas And then people come and they say, you know, we're gonna make this a factory and we're gonna take these bananas. And then he's like, what are you talking about? We're selling bananas to keep these people from, you know, but that's the problem. Why did they have to sell the bananas? They could have just eaten it themselves. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Now they were selling bananas, and now people came, and then suddenly Banana Joe was forced to do all kinds of things to get a certificate. So in a way you have to play the game, and there are people that are playing it. There are some people that are out in the open, right? And then there are maybe like Sea Shepherd or something, I don't know. And then there are people who are, you know, who work more from the shadows, which is then maybe like a shaman. I mean, it's a rare thing for shamans to like show their faces. And I clearly had shamanic training. So I just think we should extract less energy from nature and just start using what we have right now. And then, you know, so we have to stop listening to people who come with the money and who say, here, you know, if you let us have this bit of land and all the rights to it, you know, you'll get money. And then you're like, what do you mean? But then you'll corrupt it, you'll turn it into Mordor. Yeah, no, we're gonna make something, you know, good out of it. Yeah, sure, man. Never sell land to anyone. You don't know, I mean, and even then, you don't know, right? I mean, these people, you know, anyone who flatters you is a potential threat to your mission. Flattery is a clear sign for, you know, having no backbone. I'm just saying. And if you've got no backbone, then how can I rely on you to do what you said you'd do? And then the answer is, you cannot. So people who seduce you into buying things from them or whatever, they're all kind of like, it's all phony business. Wow, I'm getting hungry, man. But I'm just gonna finish this meal. I'm not just gonna post it, I first have to make the video. Post the video, because otherwise it's too hurried. I have to take my time with this. I still have to write something for You Cannot Get Rid of Her, which also speaks about the woman I feel devoted to, which is, I feel like, right, I mean, any woman is also nature. Any child, not just woman, which is why I clearly differentiate myself, or I distance myself from this idea that, you know, the feminine is nature and the masculine. You know, there is no feminine and there is no masculine. There's just an imbalance. So it's just words you give to stuff. This is the feminine, this is the masculine. But there are rounder men, and then they're like more, you know, they're like women that are quite scrawny, and then there's women that are like super tight, and then there's women that are super like lush and round. You know, it's like trees, right? How can you tell? Is there like male trees and female trees? Well, okay, I have a certain appendage, a woman has certain appendages or whatever. But what is what in the end? Well, I'm gonna add nutmeg to this dough. just turn it into my own creation thing. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I'm curious if this is actually going to hold. It said on the package something. I mean, I have done this before, but myself. I'm just using it because it's available. And then you just cook this. If you want it a bit faster, you can already put some salt on it, and the mushrooms are going to shrink. Put this on top, reduce the heat, because now it's in a closed off thingy. I know why I want human in here actually. Okay, I worked through the night, I don't know until when, and then I just couldn't resist sleep any longer. And then I just slept and I woke up to this reality of, okay, there's food outside. And then I got up and here I am. I just want to read the package. Maybe it says something on here. Okay, you just have to put like round things, form it, put it in there, bring it to a boil, and then let it sit for 25 minutes. Okay, wash my hands. Right, this is how I show being grateful in a way. So this is, I could have just chucked it, but that would have been disrespectful. Okay, I'm super excited actually. Because I did not expect to have such a meal. I mean, normally I would have not eaten this, because I probably would have said, man, this is all wrong. I shouldn't be eating this because comes from a package. But I just, right now I'm super excited. I feel sometimes a bit pity because I cannot share this. There's nobody to share this with. At least I don't know anyone. Plus I'm super busy. Yeah, I'm just adding more water. Plus a meal is a meal, right? A meal is a meal, man. I'm running out of money. So I have to take what's being given. And there's a lot of food just being thrown away. Okay, this is enough water in there. Okay, now this just has to stay hot. There's that word again. Hot. It has to stay hot. It has to stay hot. So much hotter. So much hotter than hot indeed. And then you wait until they float. Okay, 25 minutes. Check. Check, check, check. Because I was losing my will to continue. I don't know why or how, but there was something on the inside feeling like I'm losing my desire to actually live. It's a bad sign. Well, what's a bad sign? I mean, it's just a sign. Okay, this is 1 month. Still fine. It's still fine. I'm just saying, 1 month. One month out of, commission. 1 month. You're hearing what I'm saying, right? They would have chucked it, and I'm eating it, and you immediately smell that it's still good. Okay, this is gonna be creamy. This is in the direction of ketogenic. Well, potatoes are like okay for me. Okay. Now, just okay, the really moldy stuff, cheese bit. I'm just gonna put that. You see this? Even for moldy cheese, it's a bit too much mold. But this is still okay. You can just cut this bit off. There may be even some parts here. Nah, forget it. It's better to chuck it. Or, okay, this clearly just has to go. So I'm gonna put it into, just gonna go into trash. Okay, cutting off the mold. This is just gonna give taste. But I also just want to eat a piece. So you cannot really explain telepathy. You just have to accept it. Okay. That's all I can say, right? You cannot really explain telepathy. You just have to accept it. And I said to this woman, through my actions, If you want me, then you have to pin me down. You know, I'm gonna slip away, trust me on this one. You know, if you cannot pin me down, I'm just gonna slip away. Right? You know, I'm just saying, that's what I actually said to her. Well, and she took me too lightly. And so I just right. You know, so a woman in this world that wants the child of one specific man also has to be true to that man. Otherwise this man, right, she will never see him again then. So also women have to struggle if they want a man that mirrors them. So, right, what's a daddy complex? Well, hard to say, right? I'm just gonna put this cheese in there. For me, it's just for taste. I need protein. I don't know why. I have realized how much protein I need. And now I'm really greedy for it. Okay, so now the cheese will melt. And then you've got some cheesy sauce. Okay. I could have added fresh ginger. And I'm taking this ginger. Anything else? Okay, creme fraiche. Zack. But you clearly have to like eat it then. Like you don't want to. I mean, there is stuff like food poisoning, right? So you just have to also pay attention, you know, what you eat, when you eat it. So it's... But if it smells okay with milk products... I mean, milk products are fairly easy to see. Okay, choosy choosy. You know, you choose what you choose. You choose the food you eat. You choose the people you spend time with. Right, you choose the job. If you're stuck in a job that you hate, then you can transition into another job. And when you see that it's actually you hate the job, then you can start building your business next to it. So you start working extra hard. You have to make the most from whatever position you find yourself in. You know, when you wake up. to whatever reality you're facing. And that's then your personal challenge. You know, okay, you know, you were born into a family where your parents had a bit of money available. Okay, right? They're even willing to finance you if you have a clear direction. You know, nobody would have given me an apartment if I wouldn't have started, you know, giving back first. You know, I first started working hard, and then I got the support from my parents. And that was after 2 years of already having done this, because I gave them lots of energy back. You know, I did a lot of the cooking, cleaning the dishes, and then they said, okay, I think he needs his own apartment. So I didn't just get this. You know, I put it all on one card and I said, you know, I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm not gonna do anything else. You know, I don't care. You know, if life would have allowed it, I would have landed on the streets. I'm serious about this. But somehow it didn't want this. Because I don't like the way we treat nature from this, you know, high place. Because where is this idea coming from that you're better than anyone? It's just a figment of your imagination. And so I just run from one thing to the next. I choose between writing books, making video, making artwork. Right, and then I have to still find the time to feed myself. Okay? This is a meal. It's a done deal. Crocodile Dundee talks a bit about roughly the story that I've been going through, but also not really. Right, and now I go back here while the food is still sitting. I just make the most of my time. I see what's happening. Oh wow, I put it onto sleep mode. Right, I feel cold, I have to choose to wear something warmer. Cannot find it. Well, tough. So I don't particularly... Oh yeah, there's something I've started doing. Because I've looked up some... I've looked up this woman. She's a tattoo artist. But actually, if I want a tattoo, I think I want it done the natural way. So I'm training. She was doing this handstand yoga position. And it inspired me to continue on my quest for stability. So I need to learn to hold this position until it gets comfortable. And then I can do more advanced yogic techniques. So you have to put in the work. And this is so much better than getting bored. Wow. Okay. But the amount of pushing through you can do has limits. You see what I'm saying, right? There is limits to how far you can push through. So sometimes you just have to choose what feels right about now. And that's what I've been doing. You know, you don't just do just random stuff. You do what you cannot help not doing. And that's then an active choice. You do what you cannot help not doing. And then you're being guided to do it or whatever. But in the end, it's that you're doing it. Right? That's what then means, okay, you're actually doing it. You see what I'm saying, right? That's the difference. You know, you're at wit's end. You just have to do it. And then you're doing it. And then you're choosing it. But if you wouldn't have gotten to this position in your life, you would have never done it. But you see the truth of what's going on. And you feel the weight of us hammering nature or something. And you say, yeah, this is all wrong. You know? And then you take responsibility. Okay, this is something I recorded earlier. It's just like snapping sounds and stuff. Okay, now I have to, because this is going to be the background. Just go to this. This is just stuff you do frequently. Okay. And now I'm just gonna, because I know usually these videos are like 6, 7. Okay. It's like roughly 8. And you take this, put it there, echo, like 7.5, delay time, decay factor, okay. And then you start see what I'm saying, right? This is really nice. So you start fiddling with echoes. Then you say, okay, 0.4. Now I'm taking the one that has the echo already on it. I copy it, put it underneath, and then I say 0.4, 0.3. So on the one with the echo, I apply another echo. But then I take this one and I say reverb. -3. This will stay. Okay, you see what I'm saying, right? Okay, now I have an audio that I also created myself. It's just about adding a bit of static. Change pitch. I want to see. Yeah. Okay. Effect. Change speed. I'm going to stretch it to exactly 8. Oh. Actually not. Like this, do like this. So I added the shortcut. Okay, this effect repeat. I don't know, just see 222 times repeated, effect change speed. Now level it down to 0, 0, 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Let's just see what it does. So I first released the video and then the imagery. Okay, now solo. Now I have to do bass and treble. I'll do the same thing for this one. Sounds a bit like a mouse running in the background. Okay, this is Control Shift F. You know, brings it all together, and Control F zooms into this. So I'm working with layers in everything I'm doing. I'm always working with layers. Now this one I have to reverberate. First echo. And then reverb. And then see how it sounds like. Let's just adds another factor. course, you could turn it around, reverse. And this then also reverse. But you could also say, okay, change pitch. I'm not so sure. Sometimes it's just a bit. Okay, 53. Nope. I'm gonna leave it like this. Okay, and now you can give it like 20 something seconds fade in, and then you give it like same thing, fade out, and then you say export as WAV, videos, audio, and then the name is funneling emotions into art. And then you save it. And now also, because now this is done, right? This is 8 minutes. I know that now, that this is 8 minutes. And then I go, I take this, I add it to this, and then I know that this video, and I'll try to make it 8 minutes long. And then you have to take this, add it, and then because I know that this is like 9 minutes, right? Now I have to see from which point, because I slept in between. I just couldn't, you know, I tried staying awake for longer. But I just couldn't. Which means that I can safely cut this out. I just have to go back to the place where I started working on this again. I'm just running backwards, running backwards. Yeah, sometimes it takes a lot of time. So you need patience. Okay, I think that's the position. So now I can say from here on, cut. So this is Caden Life. And now I can go a couple of hours back. I mean, you can feel it often, how much time you have left. And then you realize, yeah, I cannot do more now. Okay. So in between I slept 6 hours. So yeah, in a way, you have to record these things during times like this, because otherwise people just think you're faking it. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, now, okay, this cannot be brought together, which means that, or can it? I can say group clips, then change speed, 3 hours, doesn't work though. Ungroup clips. Okay, change speed. How long is this still? Okay, I can't say. Okay, sometimes you just try 6. Okay, this is gonna be really fast though. 3240, change speed. 3240. Okay, so I can put this a little bit down. Maybe 3000. Okay. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be 8 minutes. I could actually say it's a bit fast. So I can see now, normally I'm more in the range of 1965, okay. Because it's a bit less fast. And then this has to be the same, 1965. And then I can take this. I could even change the speed of this to the same length this has now. Okay, so I would have to go here, say end. It says 10:57:19. I can check, change speed. 10:57:19. Then I can just check how it sounds like. Okay, I think it's okay. Okay, then you want some kind of like an entry. Just do normal fade in this time. Or I mean, that's a hell of a lot of work. And then you do render. And then you say funneling emotions into art. And because it's for Instagram, I enable rescaling. And then you do custom quality 85. And then you say render to file. Then you say render project. And then you go to the folder where I save the YouTube stuff. Then I have to check where I'm at. Okay, 201. 201.25. You know, space dash space. funneling emotions into art. Save. Now I can disable the rescale and disable the custom quality, because for YouTube, right, I just want it to be original quality, render to file, and now it's in the queue, which is awesome about Kden Live, because I can keep adding new projects and it will just keep funneling the, like, keep working them off. Even if I delete stuff here now, it's saved in the project file. I think it's really nice. Super cool. Okay, let's see. You know, I'm going to eat. So, choosy choosy, right? Make a choice. I have chosen this. You get what I'm saying, right? I've chosen this. And I do this basically every day. This is my life's mission. This is bringing consciousness to people to help nature. This is what I can do. This is what motivates me. And I think that's okay. Now I also have to work on Alice in Wonderland. Okay, I'm just gonna show you. This is also an active choice. This is how I slept. On the carpet. And I love it. I love hard. Hard truth. Hard-earned skills. Hey, they're not floating. Why are they not floating? I've been cheated. They're supposed to be floating. Yeah, I know. Okay, homemade is clearly better. I'm just saying. But I'm so grateful, you know. But still, homemade is clearly better. You'll never hear me say anything else. Okay, they should be floating, but I think they're done. So, I'm a bit worried I'll feel sick from this. Which is always a possibility. But at least, well, sometimes it's hard to say if it's better to have something in your stomach, you know, if it makes you a little bit sick, or just have nothing in your stomach. Well, this was clearly already 25 minutes, right? So this should... Okay, actually, normally this should be like simmering. So, maybe I made a mistake. I can just bring it to a boil and see if they start floating. In the meantime... Oh yeah, it's basically, it's not a it's not a vegan meal, if you haven't noticed. Wow. I'm just saying, right? Next time I'm going to show you how to make it yourself. Oh! They were just sticking together. See, that's the problem, you know? If you spend too much time with people you consider friends, you know, it's hard to float if you're clinging to people, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's good if you want to do what Up in the movie Up, you know? the old guy that put all these balloons on his house, you know, all balloons pulled together to bring the house up. You know, then it's a good thing. So if you have friends and you're actually working together, right, like real companions, but most friends I meet, they're not really working together for everything, for anything. You know, they're kind of like directionless, vagabonding, you know, trying to be as prickish as they can be through life. Because that's literally what this society is about. But yeah, freedom of choice, right? You're gonna harvest what you sowed soon enough. Okay? Because they clearly have the ability to float. They're just reluctant to do so. Because they probably know, right? If I'm floating, I'm gonna be eaten. And they're afraid of that. Because then they'll turn into something else. And that's also a very good sign for people these days. Nobody wants to really show what they can do. Because once you show what you can do, you know, you're afraid you'll be swallowed up by the mob, the angry masses, you know, the greedy many. Who just like, I want what you have. But what's the point? I mean, if I give it to you, you won't know what to do with it. And that's the story from coffee. I mean, we earned this, and you think you can just have it. Well, now you're paying the price for your ignorance. I don't know, I just feel better if it's the way it's supposed to be. You know, I'm a human, I acknowledge nature as way bigger than I am, and that's all there is. You know, take nature, take life, whatever. But ultimately, it's your choice. Okay, I think this is done. So first you feel excited that you're gonna eat this, then you realize that you did not make the dough yourself, and then you feel disappointed. That's also truth in a way. Okay, this one. Okay, maybe it's now. Two. You can also, after they've been cooking, you see now they're floating a bit better. After they've been cooking, you can actually also chop them up and fry them, which also makes a great meal. Let me just put this here. Yeah. Okay. You could have put butter on top. I mean, looks edible. Cheers.